Jai Shri Krishna to all, and welcome to Path to Anandam series. The power of sacred communication, Samvad. I'm Satya Kalra, your host of the program and founder of Path to Anandam. Pranam to Guruji Hariharji Maharaj for his blessings, guidance, and whatever you see on this page is all his guidance, all the bestsellers on Amazon, the foundation of Path to Anandam, and our sessions. So thank you very much, Guruji, for bringing us together and also coming in our life. And thank you to Almighty Lord Krishna. Just wanted to refresh the purpose and mission of this group. And now you might have noticed that we have changed the name to Path to Anandam series. Path to blissful life. Path to this body, self, mind, to supreme power, self, Chit Ananda. Through the spiritual practices and meditation. And these spiritual practices and meditations are based on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali's Yoga, our experiences, and question and answer coming from many other sources. And now we have studied Bhagavad Gita previously, completed the whole 108 mantras series. And now how to apply in our life, daily life. These sessions are all practical sessions, like Path to Anandam, how to reach there. And not only reach to Chit Ananda and experience our abundance and everlasting happiness, which is bliss, but learn how to enhance the quality of our life, our day-to-day life, find the solutions to our daily problems through righteous actions, which is according to Bhagavad Gita is called dharma. That's our dharma. So ultimately, self-transformation and self-improvement by learning through life experiences and journey within. And again, I put it here, Bhagavad Gita, meditations, Patanjali's Yoga, and many others. But our purpose is, who am I? Where did I come from? Where will I go from here? And what is the purpose of our life? That's what the main is. And how to attain it, that purpose, our true nature, Chit Ananda. And that's why it is called Path to Anandam, Path to Chit Anand. And the contents of the today's session, the power of sacred communications, Samvad. So what is Samvad? What is active listening? How to have a meaningful discussion? And what are the benefits of having it, doing it? And what are the practices? And then our sankalpa and homework with the tip of the day. And of course, meditation. I listen actively and discuss wisely. That's the theme of today's session. So, one of the question came to me that whenever we discuss or we talk, many times we end up in the arguments. And we sit down and have a good intentions, but when we finish it, we are more upset than before. And what are the causes? Our during that conversation, the ego clicks in, blaming game starts, misunderstanding, arguments, anxiety, stress. And we all know that in our own life, we have similar experiences. And we have observed many other people. I just put this picture here, how these people are arguing. And many divorces, separations, not just partners and husband and wife, but in family members, relationships, it's all disturbed because of miscommunication and not knowing how to communicate. And what is the solution? Solution is samvad. Where does this samvad come from? In Bhagavad Gita, these are the teachings from Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is a divine conversation between two souls, Supreme Soul and Arjuna. But basically, it's two friends. We start with two friends. But what is samvad? Each chapter of Bhagavad Gita ends with that's Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Supnishasatsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yog Shastre, Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade. Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade, Sankhya Yogo Nam, Vishad Yogo Nam, whatever the names are, but the theme here is Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade. So the samvad between two friends, the divine conversation, soul to soul, heart to heart, with compassion. Here Lord Krishna speaks and Arjuna listens. And when Arjuna speaks, and Lord Krishna listens. And in one of the verses where Arjuna tells Lord Krishna that Keshav, I am so discouraged, I'm so disappointed. Karpanya dosho, I am full with depression. And I'm talking and you are just smiling and listening. And he says, why don't you first finish your talk? Pehle tum to bolo. So this is a message that was the discussion, not the arguments. But what happens when we say it's a samvad, not vivad? Vivad means what? Mind to mind conversation, ego to ego arguments, winning and blaming game rather than learning and solving the problem. It just comes, I did this and you did this, and this is the one of the problem. There are many other problems, but this is one of the major problem between relationships and misunderstandings. And Gita teaches us how to communicate, listen, and understand with compassion before speaking. That's what Lord Krishna and Arjuna's conversation was. All one talked, other listened, and vice versa. So Gita is a divine communication, Anandam communication. And that's what the Anandam communication is. And to me, this is the lesson number 1 to learn from Bhagavad Gita, how to speak with each other. So what was involved there? There was an active listening. One was listening, the another one was speaking. So how to listen properly? Full concentration. What is being said, not what is just heard. Because many times we hear, but we don't listen properly. We do not understand. So what is active listening? The message from Lord Krishna, the teachings from Bhagavad Gita. understand first. Lord Krishna understood Arjuna's dilemma and then respond thoroughly, thoughtfully. And sometimes Arjuna just sat in depression on the back of the chariot. That was his verbal, his body language. And Lord Krishna was just watching how he's going through his confusion, depression. So question is then, how should we listen? How should we have a samvad? And very first advice, first listen before speaking. Do not interrupt. That's the key. Sometimes we have a tendency when other person is talking, I'm just hearing, and then all of a sudden my mouth opens. Here it says, no, do not interrupt. Let the other person finish the subject. And then very beautiful, I took one communication class long time ago. And in that, they taught that when you want to have some discussion or meetings, especially with two people, want to clarify some confusions, let other person say, okay, you have a 5 minutes or 10 minutes to speak as much as you want to speak. Then you understand, but do not interrupt. And do the vice versa. Both the people should do that, to express and acknowledge the emotions and control the emotion responses. Because sometimes people are very upset and then we immediately get upset. No, just let the other person diffuse his concerns and stay calm and neutral and clarify when you have doubts and provide the feedback after hearing, listening, understanding, and then stay open-minded. Because sometimes what happens when we start talking, all of a sudden, our back of the mind, our previous programming kicks in and it says, well, this person did this person is this way. We start judging based on our previous experiences. So it says, no past grudges, or not just ready to reply, but listen. And then practice and patience, have a lot of patience, respond thoughtfully, reflexively. And if we really pay attention to this, we will learn a lot. And I think we should actually practice this. More one-to-one conversation. But the benefits are so much. Like, look at the benefit, very first benefit between Lord Krishna and Arjuna's. After listening to it, he said, Nashto moha smriti labda, tat prasadan maya yog. With your kripa, karishye vachanam tam. I will now do as you advise. So act righteously. That's the benefit that Arjuna got up and he understood his responsibilities, his duty, his dharma. And that improves the relationships, helps resolve conflicts very effectively, and improves the personal and professional interaction. It's not just that it's the Bhagavad Gita or all that. Actually this helps so much during the meetings, in the business meetings. And one feels so good that you come out. You went in to resolve the issue and you come out with a smiley face, not with arguments. And it also reduces stress, anxiety, and of course, it's a physical level advantages. Our immune system improves, our health improves, because it also, it lowers the cortisol in our level on third chakra. That's where the adrenal gland is. And that is a cause of the high blood pressures and all kind of diseases. So the cortisol is it's just like a poison to our body if it is overexpressed. And the study shows, medical study, there are a lot of studies are done. And especially I read that one, that JAMA study. And it says from the Journal of American Medical Association. Let me see what happened here. And it improves the physical health, mental well-being, and it connects to the body, mind, and soul. What it means, our body feels healthy. We become more aware of it. Our mind is more calm. And then we can actually experience the Anandam, the peace and love and compassion. So the ultimate benefit is healthy, happy, and peaceful life. And then when we are connected, we know our true self. We feel so peaceful. We feel like I am in Anandam. I am that peace, supreme peace. I am Chit Ananda. So many times that question comes, how to draw the line? How do I know it's a discussion or arguments? And I just put it here. See how people here, you can see how people are arguing here and how people are calmly sitting and discussing here. So there are many teachings from Bhagavad Gita. But today I wanted to focus on Krishna listens patiently to Arjuna's. All the Arjuna's doubts, questions, before he started giving the advice. Because Arjuna asked for advice. And that's one of the other key elements, how to ask for advice. Calmly, listen. And here Krishna responds with wisdom, compassion, not with ego, not with arguments, not judging Arjuna that how come he's so depressed and not understanding his dharma and all that. He understood that now it is a time for me. And of course, we always say that that was the model he used for us to have a Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna was the medium for Lord Krishna to deliver this divine message. So the message here is listen actively and discuss wisely. So Krishna advises and motivates Arjuna to act without attachment to results, that how he's going to do it. Let's just listen. So Krishna teaches Arjuna to stay calm in both success and failures. He teaches him many, many things. This is basically a summary of Bhagavad Gita, but basically here the focus is how to have a friendly conversation, divine conversation, rather than getting into arguments. So practice session. Again, I say is a planner for self-transformation. We are changing our habits, our old habits. Aadat buri sudhar lo ho gaya bhajan. So here is the transformation of our mind. And the very first lesson of Bhagavad Gita. Listen actively, calmly, and discuss wisely. So the right practice makes one perfect. So we should practice that. And again, going back to AAA strategy, awareness. analyze, and action. So be aware how we speak, how we hear, how we listen. And then sometime, even though we practice it, we might again go back to in our old pattern, because changing the habit is not a overnight or one-time deal. It takes a lot of practice. Abhyasa, 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 chapter 12, all the time and many times in Bhagavad Gita, abhyasa, abhyasa, abhyasa. So we have to practice, and actually medical study shows, it takes 21 days, 21 times to make a change. And it's a very gradual change. Therefore, we should have a lot of patience for that. And then our action will be more according to the divine will. We will accept the divine will, but we will be making the decisions, connecting with supreme power. So then the decision, not just that is my decision, my egoistic decision, it's a help from the supreme power. So we have to live in awareness. First thing, that's a Bhagavad Gita's, like Arjuna got aware that he could not perform his duty anymore. He could not engage in this bloody war, Kurukshetra. So awareness is very, very important first step. But practices, and sometimes it seems like it's redundant to each of my session, but this is such a powerful. If we just talk about only this session, this part, this slide, I think we can spend many, many days, even it's a 30 days planner, and we can speak for 30 days just on this planner. So this has come after a lot of practice. And not a practice, but experiences that what each step does. So the morning, start our day with connecting to divinity, how we do it, whether we do it our mantras as a study, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, whatever resonates with us, but we should start our day with something which makes us feel more peaceful. And then we should continue to practice. Sometime, of course, we might miss it due to some reasons, but exercises, yogas, and there I put it specifically here, the sun salute, Surya Namaskar. It's only 12 steps. And Ramdev Babaji does 108 in the morning. I just do it somewhere between 3 to 7. And then, of course, other my practices. And then do the pranayam, which is very important. And then may watch this part is so important. When it says awareness, how we listen, how we see, how we speak, how we judge other people, how we do it, all this, make a best use of our mind, our eyes, our ears, our mouth, our hands, everything. We should pay attention to it. And then during the day, take it one point. And here we take it for a week, because we have a weekly sessions. So the session for this week is, and the practice during the day for this week is, I listen actively and discuss wisely. And then self-transformation will come with this one practice, which will lead to our eternal health. When we say eternal health, we feel healthy. Sometimes physically we might have some challenges, but we still, don't complain about it. Don't, we just focus on our mantras, and all of a sudden that whatever the difficulties we have, there are processes, there are meditations, how to heal yourself. But the healing starts just with these practices. And we feel happy, peaceful, Anandam, and then we are connected to the supreme power. So we should continue in the evening, evaluate ourselves. How did I do it? As I said, sometimes we might succeed, sometimes we fail. That's okay, but we continue to practice, even though we feel that we could have done better. That's okay. Continue, abhyasa, and then meditate for 5 to 30 minutes before going to bed and analyze it. Then pray to God and thank Him for His guidance and surrender to God. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam aham tvam sarpapebhyo mokshashyami ma shich. Surrender, and let go. Because God promises that I will take care of it. So our homework time, again, Swadhyaya Abhyasam. Ask yourself, live in awareness. Do I listen actively and patiently before giving advice or speaking? Do I interrupt? Do I discuss or argue? Do I blame or resolve the issue? Am I open-minded or trying to win the game, this argument game or my conversation? Am I calm? And look at this. I put in this how two friends. Of course, Arjuna's and Krishna we put, but how two friends are just calmly sitting and discussing. So we should continue to inquire, because self-inquiry is the only path. Unless we question our own improvement, then we don't have to wait for other people. Because when other people tell us something that we need to improve, we take it as a criticism. Therefore, that we should do it our self-improvement and reach to higher self. Go beyond our gunas, as Lord Krishna says. Mistrai guna bhavarjun. Go beyond your limitations, tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic nature, and become the gunatit and experience who I am. That's the only way we can experience this. So, arise, awake, stop not, until goal is reached, until we experience who we are. And that's the message, the tips from Swami Vivekananda. So our sankalpa is, I listen and I discuss wisely. So listen, understand, and discuss wisely. That's our sankalpa. And again, by now, I think we all understand that why the effect of sankalp prabhavan. And here, kamasya tattva. It's not my desire, your desire. It's a mutual relationship. But we have to control our body, minds, and all the senses. Mansa indriya gramam. That's why I always put those 5 monkeys. And then Shanai, again, as I said, the little by little, each words of Bhagavad Gita's practices are put in that calendar. That's why it is, I put the 30 days calendar over there. Then little by little, buddhya agati grahita, atma sansam mana tatvana, kinchita pichinte. Then focus, live in awareness, and just focus on our goal. One gradually attains peace and tranquility of mind by totally abandoning all selfish desires And in this case, winning the games, conversation, no, completely controlling all the senses and mind by intellect, keeping the mind fully engaged in the God's consciousness. And here the God consciousness is our goal. And the goal is daily, for daily practices, and the worldly goal is to have a better relationships with others. Because when we are disturbed, we can't even think about God at that time. So we should build better relationships by listening, by understanding, and by discussing properly. Rather than here it says change starts at the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and then the superconscious mind. So conscious minds means we have to practice, practice, practice. Then our old habits will change, and then we feel happy, healthy, and peaceful. So thank you very much for attending the session. Power of sacred communication, Samvad, divine communication. And here is a path to Anandam, how we are going step by step to ultimate Chit Ananda. So thank you very much.